Welcome to Market Matters with Motter. I'm Trisha Motter with Intera Real Estate Services.
And I'm Michael Gordon with E3 Realty and Loans,
who happens to be our very special guest on this Christmas episode, as well as my amazing mortgage broker and husband. And we want to say thank you so much. We realized we were serving how many people this year?
113 households.
113 households we were able to help with buying and selling in the Bay Area, as well as serving their financing needs throughout the state of California. And this didn't even factor in those that we were able to help connect and refer to representation outside the state of California and through the U.S. It's pretty amazing.
Really is. And I want to thank you guys so much for referring the people that you love and care about, because without your referrals, we wouldn't have the opportunity to serve them on a high level and really take care of them the way that they deserve. And on this episode, we're going to review 2021, as well as take a look at some of the success stories from this year and give you some insight as to what to expect for next year.
Stay tuned. So now let's talk about what was it like doing purchase money financing as well as refinancing in 2021. So Michael, what was it like this year helping those with their financing needs?
Well, I'll tell you what, it was not what I expected. In fact, 2021 was an incredible roller coaster ride. We started off with record low interest rates in January, and then spring through summertime, interest rates actually went up significantly, which shook the market. Later in summer, interest rates actually came down significantly, inspiring a lot more activity in the purchase market and refinances. So it was actually quite a surprise.
And how did that line up to your expectations? What were you expecting for rates going to be this past year? What was that kind of prediction for this year?
Well, I don't have a crystal ball, so I can't always tell what's going to happen, but I was expecting interest rates to be significantly higher this year, and they actually came back down and they stayed low for almost the remainder of this year. So I was pleasantly surprised. And, well, I'll tell you a little bit more about what to expect next year in the next part of this episode.
And to wrap up on the financing side, with this competitive market, we've had so many people saying we had to submit offers without contingencies, having the loan contingency removed, appraisal contingency removed. What were some of those steps that you had to take to make sure we had that covered?
Okay, so that took careful planning and execution, because we really had to go to the nth detail to make sure that the income was verified, assets were verified, and then also what the likelihood of the appraisal was going to be price-wise, so that buyers can make an informed decision and confidently remove their contingencies without having to worry about what ifs that could come into play that could put them in danger. So a lot of care and expertise was put to make sure that they were protected.
Well, thank you for doing that. And now let's go into buying and selling in 2021.
So, Trisha, share with everybody a review of the 2021 real estate activity.
Well, Michael, so it was a very interesting year. And I have to say, we were seeing double digits earlier this year, like we talked about in one of our previous episodes. And we started to see a slowdown on the amount of offers received, but still having this really strong demand with the limited supply that's been driving the market. So now we're still having some homes having double digits in some areas, but many, maybe just a few, or some that are actually sitting on the market for longer days, and many having price reductions, which has been a real shock in this marketplace. And with Santa Clara County having almost that 20% of homes having price reductions in the past month, it's been interesting to see, but it also feels like we're getting more into a traditional holiday season where it's slowing a little bit in pace, but there are still people that are buying and selling right now like crazy, so it's still moving quickly. How about you?
I just noticed that a lot more people are getting into the market because rates have been going up. And with the increase in rates, I think it's really inspired people to get off the fence and take action, because there's not very much inventory to be had, which is why we're seeing such strong activity with each one that is available.
That's true. It's true. And I'm curious about, from the Bay Area as a whole, we've been seeing so many people that have looked at leaving Silicon Valley, and we've had so many that we've helped go to Tennessee, Oregon, Washington, other states, and that's been something that's been happening for the past few years and even pre-COVID. But we've even had more people that have just been looking at wanting to stay in California, but going more towards the Central Valley or Contra Costa County, because many have said, well, if I don't have to go and commute to work, then maybe I'll go further out and have more affordable housing. I think that's something you've been seeing too as well, many from Silicon Valley going to Contra Costa County in Central Valley.
Absolutely, especially in the Brentwood area, we're seeing a huge migration from Silicon Valley out to Brentwood.
Yes, and that's something that we anticipate could be something to look at for the future. And let's get into the projections for the new year. But first, we have some success stories that we wanted to share with you. And I know you guys have listened to some of our client testimonials, but we wanted to share a few more that maybe you haven't heard of already. So we talked about the real estate market and financing in 2021. Now, Michael, I want to know, what are your 2 favorite stories from this year?
Okay, one of them I love because I got to play Superman.
Which you are very good at, by the way.
Thank you. So yeah, I got a call from Trisha that one of her listings was having an issue where the buyer's appraisal was coming in significantly low. In fact, over $100,000 lower than they expected. So I quickly started looking at the comparable sales in the area, and Trisha provided some additional data that made it look like it should be pretty easy to get a new appraisal. So yes. I met with the client, figured out the offer of financing that they had, made sure that I could give them as competitive of pricing, and swooped in to within 13 days,
yes.
Got a new appraisal, got us clear to close, and got final loan documents ordered so that in less than 2 weeks, we could literally turn around and save the day so that your clients could easily move out of state where they were going.
Exactly. And not only were the sellers thrilled and ecstatic that everything still worked out for their next purchase in Washington, but the buyers were super happy and grateful because they were just so shocked with the level of service that you were able to provide. They didn't have to pay this big, huge, crazy difference on the appraisal. Saved them so much money on the process.
Yes.
So now I want to hear about the second favorite story.
Okay, so this one was a bit more complex because we were helping one of our first-time home buyers, and competing for homes in the San Jose market is incredibly difficult.
Yes, it is.
And with this one, they actually had FHA financing, which made it even more complex.
Yes.
So we were actually up against multiple offers for actually a condo project that wasn't even FHA approved yet.
I know, that was a fun one.
Yeah, so not only did we talk our way into this one to give this gentleman a chance to own his first home, but this was going to require getting the entire project approved for FHA financing.
Yes.
Fast forward to 3.5 weeks later, we literally got the entire project approved. So now all of the homeowners within that community are open to government insured financing, which means there's more opportunity for people to purchase within that condo complex. So it not only helped our first time home buyer realize his dream of home ownership, but it also empowered the rest of the community to receive more ability to sell because they can sell to more financing options. So that was a good one.
That was a really good one because I know he was so excited because not only did he get the property he wanted, and we didn't have to limit it to just only FHA approved complexes. We got the one he wanted. We got that approved to where all the neighbors had immediately increased their property values. Any buyer now could afford to buy that property or one of those neighboring properties that had FHA financing. So that was another very special story. So thank you.
That was a good one. Okay, so Trisha.
Yes.
We want to hear some of your favorites from this year.
Okay, well, this is hard. There's so many favorites. First one that comes to mind is that amazing family that reached out to us. They were referred by their family member. They tried using another realtor, trying to sell their home, had no luck, no offers. And so we got connected and helped them with preparing their home, getting it prepped, painted, some new flooring, getting it staged. And within 5 days, we received multiple offers, selling at $50,000 above list price. And their property got the highest sold comp for that model in that location. So they were ecstatic and just super happy about the results. Not only that, but I was able to negotiate a free rent back for them to stay in their home until we found their replacement home. And then once we found the replacement home, I was able to get their offer accepted before the open house weekend, before the multiple bidding war and frenzy was about to start. So not only did it help save them time, energy, frustration, it saved them so much money because of that connection and the relationships that we had to be able to get their offer secured. And they were just so happy. It was their dream home, getting a huge backyard and a wonderful property that met all their needs. So that was one that they were very excited about. And thank you for doing the financing on that one as well.
My pleasure. And well done on the transformation. I know you guys love watching her transform homes. And if you could see the before on most of these, you probably would not even recognize the properties. It's
true.
It's really something special.
Yes. Well, thank you.
Okay, let's get one more story to wrap up 2021.
Okay, well, since we're already here in Willow Glen, amongst the amazing Christmas lights, we will talk about 2478 La Merida, which was one of the most recent listings that I shared with you guys. We just closed last week, and what we were able to do with that property was pretty amazing. I was referred to the owners by another realtor that was helping them buy their next home, new construction. They got their offer accepted, and they had a serious time crunch on their hands to be able to accomplish selling their home to buy their next. So within under a week, we were able to get their home prepped, staged, ready to go, photos, video, on the market. And within 5 days, we received 16 offers on their property. After receiving 16 offers, we sold their home for $530,000 above list price for a final sales price of $2.41 million with a price per square foot of $1,271, which is the highest sold home in their neighborhood. So they were thrilled with not only getting multiple offers, selling way beyond their expectations. Within 5 days, our close of escrow was at under 23 days. So very fast turnaround, and they were super happy about that.
You know, I'm seeing a trend here. You're constantly breaking records in every neighborhood you serve.
I can't help it. So now let's talk about the new year in 2022. What are you expecting to see in the finance world and the real estate world?
Okay. Well, definitely interest rates are looking like they're going up. The Federal Reserve has announced that they are going to do at least 2 or 3 rate hikes during 2022, which means the cost to lenders is going to increase, which means they are going to pass that through to borrowers. So I would expect increased interest rates. What that'll do to the market is, in some cases, it could slow down, some markets a little bit. But let's face it, folks, we've been traveling at about 300 miles an hour with this crazy fast market where everything is just selling super fast.
Yes.
Raising interest rates as much as they're talking about, really, it's kind of like slowing down to about 100. And the reason why I think that is because homes are still limited. There's just not very much inventory available. And because of the limited inventory, I still think we're going to see a lot of activity, multiple offers, where home prices as a whole, I would anticipate to continue to actually go up next year.
And I have to agree with that. I'm thinking that we're going to still continue to see that demand going into the new year. I think that quite possibly we might be seeing that continued interest going into the condo and townhouse market. We started seeing a little bit of a pickup towards the end of this year, and I think that we'll start to see more of that interest hopefully into the new year, helping with those values. But we're going to have a very steady incline. We've been used to these double digits in appreciation everywhere in the Silicon Valley Bay Area in California. And I think we're just going to have a little bit of a slower rate as those interest rates start to increase. We're going to just have it a little bit more steady growth in the market. And something interesting to think about too is many of the tech companies here in Silicon Valley has said that they want their employees back in-house, back in offices in the new year. So that could have some changes in the dynamic moving into 2022 on, are those people that maybe moved out of the area and are, looking at having to be closer to be back to the workplace? What is that going to do for some of those households? Will they be coming back to the Bay Area, or will we see a change in how people are going to continue to do business moving forward? So that's going to have a big impact into the new year. And I think we'll see some interesting series of events, and we're definitely going to keep you posted. That's for sure.
Absolutely. And lenders have actually been coming out with more and more exotic products or ways that they're trying to make it easier for financing to be obtained. So that's something to actually keep an eye on, and we will keep you updated on this, because how that lending world shapes up will have a drastic impact on the real estate market. So stay tuned for more from that.
Yes, indeed.
So I want to thank you all for watching, and especially over this last year and for the last several years, it's been quite impressive to see how much you've grown as a professional. You really do go above and beyond for your clients in a way that is absolutely extraordinary and inspiring. I mean, I know I've absolutely become a better professional paying attention to what you do to take care of our clients.
Well, I do the same with you because of all the things I've learned from this man right here has been absolutely amazing. So thank you for being the amazing professional that you are and all that you do for everybody on a daily basis, every year, no matter what it is, real estate related or not. So thank you. And I really appreciate you being on this episode with me.
Oh, thank you.
And then thank you guys again for being able to watch and attend with us on this latest episode. And remember, we are never too busy to help you and those you know with your real estate needs and questions. And please feel free to like, follow, subscribe to any of our social media channels. And we look forward to connecting and helping you with any moves you plan to make in the future. Thanks so much.
Let's have a good one next year.
Yes, indeed.